red blood cells, white blood cells, and you have platelets. Each one is assigned with a very important function of the blood. As I explained earlier, RBC is the carrier of oxygen, WBC is the defense, and platelets, clotting mechanism. Handles all clotting mechanisms in the blood. And the remaining 55% of blood consists of plasma. Plasma, there is 91% around water, and remaining 7% you have proteins, various kinds of proteins like albumin, fibrinogen, there are many kinds of proteins. Along with that, the blood carries electrolytes. These are sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium. There are hormones. There are the drug molecules which are ultimately get into the bloodstream, chemicals, etc. See here. So this is the modern composition of blood. Now, the blood is defined in Unani as a fluid of life. It is a fluid of life because through the RBC, it is nourishing each and every cell of the body with essential oxygen and nutrients. Whatever we eat